Back to politics now and some real talk. Hillary Clinton email scandal flashback, as it is already exactly 1 year ago today that the Democratic presidential candidate held that news conference at the United Nations where she emphatically said she did not email any classified material.
I opted for convenience to use my personal email account, which was allowed by the State Department, because I thought it would be easier to carry just one device for my work and for my personal emails instead of two. I have absolute confidence that everything that could be in any way connected to work is now in the possession of the State Department. I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email.
Joining me now, Guy Benson, Fox News contributor and political editor at townhall.com. Let's start with last night, because when she was asked if you're indicted, I mean, she basically said, well, that's not going to happen, and they moved on. What did you make of that?
Yeah, she laughed it off, but let's be clear. This is not funny for her, and she knows it. She is not amused that there's an ongoing criminal investigation by the FBI into this email scheme. She's not entertained that one of her top aides that set up her insecure server has now been granted immunity in exchange for cooperation. And she's, I'm sure, not pleased to read in the New York Times and the Washington Post that it's likely that she'll be interviewed by the Federal Bureau of Investigation in the coming weeks. So she has to chuckle it off and sort of pretend like it's not a big deal, but I think based on polling and other indicators, most voters understand exactly how serious this is.
All right, so earlier this week, Brett Baer from Special Report here on Fox, he held a Democratic town hall with Sanders and Clinton. Topic, of course, came back up with some pointed questioning. Here's part of that.
You said at a March press conference in 2015, quote, I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material. So can we say definitively that that statement's not accurate?
No, you can't.
Okay, so she's going down, you know, obviously she's going to say that, right? I mean, I guess it all is contingent on what the FBI finds out. And then, of course, if they recommend some sort of an indictment, what the Department of Justice chooses to do.
That's true, but going back to Brett's question and her answer, she said, no, we can't. The correct answer, the verifiably true answer is yes, we can. When you go back and you look at her emails, she sent more than 2,000 emails that were classified through that server. Personally sent more than 100 of them herself. Dozens of them are secret, top secret, or above top secret, according to the State Department and the Inspector General for the intelligence agencies. I mean, for her to say that her March claim, at the beginning of the segment, Gretchen, you played a montage of a number of statements and assertions that she made 1 year ago today, and I counted in my head as we watched along maybe 6 or 7 provably false things that she said, one of which, the biggest of which, is there was no classified material. There was lots of classified material. That is a fact, period.
The other thing she said at the top of that montage was that the reason why she did this was a matter of convenience and because she only wanted to have one device. But it didn't take journalists very long to find pictures of her using iPads, Blackberries, you know, more than one device.
All right, she had 2 or 3 devices. She said this was allowed by the State Department. Not true. State Department officials telling Politico months ago she violated, quote, clear-cut State Department guidelines. A Clinton-appointed federal judge confirming that she broke and violated federal guidelines when she set up this bootleg unsecure server. I mean, there was just a whole litany of untruths that she told, and she continues to double down, hoping and keeping her fingers crossed that the Obama Justice Department ultimately will protect her based on what we know right now. It seems like she probably violated the law. Whether or not she's called to account for that under the law remains to be seen.
Could be weeks away when we finally know what the FBI actually knows. Guy Benson, thank you.